Okay, in the last video, we began to discuss mean, median, and mode. I gave you an example using children's ages, some children that we took their ages down and talked to them about a new product, a new toy that we'd want to put into stores. And now we're going to look at some more examples of how mean, median, and mode can change, can form based on the numbers you collect. The first example we'll use is teacher ages. So I made up some ages. These aren't the actual ages of any teachers you might know. I mean, they could be. You could know teachers these ages, but I just picked some numbers of ages that teachers might be at any given school. And I said that three of the teachers, we're looking only at 8 teachers. 3 of the teachers are 24 years old. 1 teacher is 29 years old. There's a 30-year-old, a 35-year-old, a 40-year-old, and a 66-year-old. So this is either someone who's been teaching a very, very long time, or got started later, or probably very close to retirement if a teacher is still teaching at 66. But if you're watching this and you are a 66-year-old teacher, I have more power to you. I think that's awesome. I think you should be able to teach until the very last, if that's what you love to do. So what we're going to do is take the mean, and if we remember, the mean can be declared or spoken of in this way. We can call each of these numbers by this variable here. The first number can be x1, the second number can be x2, all the way through the total of the numbers, which in this case would be x8. And I'm going to introduce you to a new concept, a concept of sigma, which is this little guy, this symbol here, sigma. And what that means is add them up. This means add it all up. This is like a big plus sign. A big plus sign. Add them all up. So, what do we want to add up? Well, the way we say that is we say we add up I1. This is the I. The number down here, this little subscript number would be the I, so this would be xi, 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 but we know what the I is. It's the 1, it's the 2, it's the 3. I1 through the total of the numbers, or the total number of numbers. So it'd be 8, right? Because we talked about before, if we went all the way down to whatever the last number is, it would be n. But we know what n is. We know it's 8. That's how many we have. So add up, sum the x's from I being 1, this guy, to n, this last number. So we're going to sum these up and put it over n, right? Take all of the numbers added up and divide it by the number of numbers. That's how we get our average, our mean. So I don't want to go the long way like we did in the last example. You can pause and add it up by hand if you'd like. I'm just going to pull in a calculator. I have no problem with you using a calculator to do these, and if you don't want to take the time to do it by hand, as long as you understand the concept, the principles behind it. So I add up the 3 24s, I add up 29, 30, 35, 40, and 66. That total is 272. So this formula here is just 272, all of these numbers added together, over, and we have 8 numbers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just like we said here. 8 numbers. And our calculator says 272 divided by, / divided by 8 equals, great, 34. I didn't plan it that way. I didn't do the number before, but it comes out perfectly. So 34, that's great for us. So the mean, the average of these teachers' ages is 34. So even though we have some younger, 24, even though we have a couple that are older, and one who might be much older than that average, altogether they're around 34 years old. All of them grouped together are around 34 years old. Let's look at the median. The median is the middle number, And again, we have an even amount, 8, so there's going to be 2 middle numbers. If we had an odd amount, 7, 9, 11, there would only be one middle number. But we have an even number, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 towards the middle, and 1, 2, 3, 4 from the opposite side. So these are our middle numbers here, 29 and 30. And I could do the math on the paper. I could add up 29 and 30 and divide by 2, but we know by now with our number line problems and things like that, that the middle of these two numbers, of course, would be 29 and a half, or 29.5. So the median age is 29.5. Now take a second, think to yourself, which of these numbers, 34 or 29.5, do you think is a better indicator of the age of all of the teachers together? If you were to say they're about 34 or about 29.5, which do you think is a better indicator? Take a second to think about it. I would say that they're both very, very close. Either one. You could go either way. You have some teachers who are younger, you have some teachers who are older. Probably I would tend, knee-jerk, to say 29.5 is a little closer to the age of about everybody, since we've got 4 that are under that, and the 30 and the 35-year-old are very close to that. This 34 is a little bit higher, so you'd have 5 under this one and 3 on the opposite side, so that would be skewing a lot towards the higher guys, but they're both very close. The mode is the most repeating number, so 24, 24. There's 3 24s, and no other number is repeating. If one of these had repeated, like 35 repeated once, then there'd be 2 of those, but that still wouldn't be the mode because it's the most repeating. So we have 3 24s, so that's going to be our mode. Okay? The average, the mean of these numbers is 34. The median is 29.5, right in the middle. And the mode is the most recurring number, which would be 24. There's 3 of the 24s. So, if you have that down, we'll go on to another example.